Is there anyone in the music industry that you consider like your real friend?
Even at that point, I can't even say like, this niggas I done had to X out. I done known from the sandbox, even day ones and shit. From back then to even recently, like, it's just envy and jealousy and niggas' egos and shit. That shit be really like destroying like close bonds and all that.
Yo, what's going on, guys? You're watching Kate's Takeover right now, Vancouver, Canada, all the way to Atlanta, Georgia right now with my guy Fauni. How's it going, man? How's it going? Bro, this is dope because I just feel like, Fauni, you don't even really do interviews like that.
Yeah.
Like lately, at least.
Type of shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it.
So this is cool to, you know, finally get this and something our fans have been wanting to.
Yeah.
But you were saying that you, are you based out of here now or like you based out of somewhere else?
Yeah, stay in Atlanta right now. I was in LA for a couple years, then I moved back to Atlanta last year.
Yeah. I think like aside from the music stuff, which, you know, we're all gonna obviously get into, I'm just like curious how you're honestly doing, man, because, you know, we don't like hear from you too often. So like how's like your mental in general, like this past, let's say like 3-4 months?
I mean, shit, same shit the whole world dealing with, just with the whole COVID situation. And, you know, I had shit lined up before this. Like I was finna perform at the Fashion Week they had in Italy 2020, but Italy got hit like one of the hardest out of everybody.
I remember that.
When it first started, and then we had like tours lined up like that whole year, so I had to cancel all those, then just reevaluate. You know, like
definitely, but also it just ruined the momentum for a lot of people, bro.
Yeah, the momentum that it fucked up. That's what I definitely hate.
It's like if you were lit in 2019, you had to really work to stay like relevant the next 2 years, you know?
Yeah.
And it's fucked, dude. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's messed up. But it's good to see that you're still hungry because you could have easily after the 2 years been like, all right, I'm done with this. Like,
yeah.
So I feel you, bro. But let's kind of take a bit back to your childhood. I'm curious, like, tell me about you moving around so much in Atlanta, because I know you, I think it was in an interview, you said you just like were constantly moving from place to place.
Yeah, like on some refugee shit, like on some nomad shit type shit. Like I was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee. You feel
What's
me?
it called?
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga.
So like the border of Tennessee and Georgia.
Okay.
You feel me? Chattanooga. And came over here on McAfee Road in Decatur on the east side. My aunt, like old auntie house, you feel me? She had passed away, so we had moved into her spot. Just everywhere, bro, everywhere possible. South side over in Fairburn. Then I moved in with my cousin Flit, you feel me, over in Cobb County.
That seems wild, bro. For me, if I had to move once, I'd be like, fuck, man, like it's such a issue. But like, what was like kind of like the hardest part about you having to move around so much? Like, was there ever a day where you're like, bro, this shit is not, it's not okay?
It's like, I was done with it, you feel me? But it's like, it is what it is. I hated moving, but it came with like, I got to know so many different types of people.
True.
It ended up helping my music and just everything I wanted to do as far as just reaching out or just having, you know, I guess a community of folks who would at least spread my shit to other ends of this part of Atlanta, this part of woo.
That's pretty smart, man. I've been to Atlanta, I think this is my 3rd time, and you know, I'm still kind of on the come up with my media outlet. Like, it's doing well, but I'm still young, so I don't have like all the funds. So I'll like, and he knows this too, but like when I come here, I'll stay in like really cheap Airbnbs, right? Like hella cheap to save money. But bro, I feel like sometimes I've actually been in the trap. Yeah. Like literally, bro.
Look, even with the B&Bs, bro, like you don't never know. You feel me? You don't never know. Like they'll show you some shit. It look good on the app, but it is not what you expected.
Bro, that's the worst. I saw the picture. I'm like, this looks alright. I go there and it's what part is it in Italy? You said the one I'm in right now. Okay, so I don't know if that's bad or whatever.
Oh yeah, you over there.
Is that like a trap or something? Like, what?
You feel me? But when you get there, you like, this ain't what I paid for.
I got there and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, the door doesn't lock. Just letting you know. I'm like, You couldn't have mentioned that anywhere.
Super sketchy shit, you feel me?
Yeah, it's fucked. But like, walk the audience who's watching right now through like the different eras of like Fauni. Like, what were like the different eras of your sound?
Bro, as far as when I first started, like one of my first songs was like, what was it? Speeding and Smoking with some of my homies and shit. Like I got the worst verse on that shit. Like, it's highly noticeable, you feel me?
Yeah.
I got the worst verse. I hate that song only because I hate my verse. And now it's like, where I'm at right now is just, it's funny as hell, bro, like, cause it's like the saga really continues. It's just forever transforming and developing my sound.
Yeah.
I don't think I really like mastered or perfected it.
So there was never a time in your career where you're like, damn, I'm making like the best music of my career. Like, was there a specific year, or do you think like it's now?
It's funny. I think everybody else got their own perspective of like their favorite era or age or whatever for me. But for me personally, I just like the fact that, you know, like how Kanye got like, you know, the college dropout days. Even before that, his producer days, then the college dropout days. Then, you know, like the 808's Heartbreak. Then the My Beautiful Dark Sister Fantasy. And now we got the Donda stage and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like every artist got their own, just, it depends on what you're going through right now. Like what I'm going through in my personal life is just kind of like what I'm going to put in my music. Like, especially just with people I used to be close with, I'll say, so to say. Like.
I feel you, man. I mean, you know, with the new project that's dropping, what's like a 2022 Fauni beat sound like? Like, what's like your beat selection now compared to before? I feel like it's definitely different, bro.
I know I really hate when people put like that stacked up kick in it, but what's funny is I've been using some of them shits lately.
Yeah.
And I do not like the hella kick, like tight kicks and shit like that. I like just like the 808s and thumpers, and I really like the subs. Like I really like the subs, but I say if anything, I'm really just focusing on getting everything mixed and mastered.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like the main focus for me right now.
That's good to hear, because I was actually, and I actually like your past few projects, but I did read some of the comments. Some people were like, yo, Fauni needs to mix this, and this could be like a Billboard hit or whatever, right? But it's good that you're like aware of that, you know? And you're not just like denying things.
Yeah, I know where I could put more effort into. It's definitely like mixing and mastering.
Right. I feel like, well, I'm curious, bro, are you like really tapped in with the underground scene right now? Because to them, you're like an underground like legend, right?
It's got like, you know, all the elements, and really just all the elements that kind of just make you want to vibe. With Faygo, Yeat, like them niggas cool. They doing their shit. So.
Are there any other specific artists from this new wave that you know you catch yourself kind of listening to here and there?
Shit. That nigga YellaBandana, BBA Red. That nigga Lil Taliban, fire as hell, of course. My nigga Soda Man, fire as hell. That nigga Money Sean. Shout out the whole FTW. All them niggas fire as hell.
Damn, I mean, you know, I just brought it up to you a couple minutes ago. Like, what is your thoughts on like that underground like legend title? Because I remember when I interviewed Lucky, I asked him that as well. Like, people see him as that, right? But how do you feel about that? Is that something you want to be? Like, what do you think?
I mean, like, it's cool, but I see myself like, you know, I got like bigger goals. I got higher goals. Like, I got my ambition, like, thank God, like, I still got my ambition. I see a lot of artists that just, like, lose their ambition just because of, you know, politics or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that title, you feel me? Like, I like, you know, like, that's cool, but it's still so much further I could go, and I know I'm gonna reach it. But even when I reach it, it's gonna be, like, other heights I still want to climb.
Well, I just think as an artist, you'll always want more, bro. That just comes with being an artist. You'll never, ever be satisfied, you know?
Yeah, I'm steady being hungry.
Yeah, and that's good, bro. Even with us, like, people will label us as an underground channel. Like, I do not want to be labeled as that, because it kind of just like puts you in like a little box. Haven't you kind of felt that?
You know? Yeah. And that's another thing. I hate when people just put me in like they just think they could place me somewhere, you know? If anything, it's just higher heights to climb.
Was, you know, this is something that our audience was wondering. I remember I asked on our story, like, what do you want to ask Fauni, right? And they're asking, like, do you feel like at any point you were kind of like blackballed by any sort?
No, man, nah. I mean, I know where that's coming from, but nah, I ain't gonna say it. You feel me? Like, can't nobody stop me.
Facts. That's what kind of like the vibe I get from you. But I think like your audience and I could agree on this, that like Ultraviolet is your best song. But I'm curious if you think, like, do you think that's your best song, or is that like just your most mainstream song?
Forward that, then it's smoke, Holy Spirit, Holy smoke. Bought the script, ain't prescribed, fuck the law, don't.
It's like my most like, it's like my most mainstream at the moment, you feel me?
Yeah.
And it still took a minute for that to get a little traction, you know? Like, when I dropped it initially, it wasn't like, oh, just, everybody just fucked with it immediately. Yeah. Like, I'm just now realizing, like, probably like 3 weeks, maybe a month ago, like, oh, this is my most played shit ever. Type shit, yeah.
So what do you think are like your top 3 songs ever that you've made?
Top 3 songs of all time, like, in my opinion, or just like analytically?
Nah, I'm talking about in your opinion. Like, what do you actually think? Like,
oh, shit that I've.
Has to be released too, obviously.
It's gonna be like Ultraviolet, probably Wish the Worst, and like Gorgeous, or like Who You Testin, or you know, like it's slick. A couple of them bitches, niggas love Flying and all that.
I feel like, you know, unlike a lot of artists, you've been dropping a lot of projects like frequently, right? Like, you won't do the thing where you'll drop and then you'll disappear for like 3 years and come back, right? Or let's say like 2 years. But tell me how you've gotten them out so fast. Like, is your work ethic just like insane?
I mean, it depends on how you describe insane. But I got so many projects I'm just finna drop this year alone.
Yeah.
We was, me and my nigga Man, we was up in the studio just like the other week, last week, putting together all the track lists. And we like, bro, it's like, it's already over 100 songs and shit, for real.
Yeah.
But that's like the beauty of it.
I feel that. I mean, what is it, you know, this is a little bit of a different topic. What does it take for someone to get in your circle? You know, like, is there anyone in the music industry that you consider like your real friend?
Hell no. Like, that's why it's the industry, man.
Yeah.
It's business. It ain't really like friendship shit for real. Don't get me wrong, like, you know, you'll have to be around folks, you know, but when it come down to it, this shit is business, like, especially at this stage, like, ain't no lollygagging going around.
So like, what does it take then for somebody to get in your circle? Like, is it someone that you had to like grow up with?
Even at that point, I can't even say, like, this niggas I done had to X out. I done known from the sandbox, even day ones and shit. And I'm talking about from back then to even recently, like, it's just, you know, envy and jealousy and niggas' egos and shit, that shit be really like destroying like close bonds and all that. And I be down to work with, like, for the most part, anybody. But shit, niggas show me their true colors like every day, so it'd be hard.
Yeah, I feel that, man.
Yeah.
Do you are you still you know, are you still tight with Uno?
Yeah. I seen this nigga, like, he had a show out here with Tokyo like last month.
Right.
Yeah. He was I spoke to this nigga on the phone like the other week, last week type shit. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's good to hear, man.
He gonna be on we got some songs we finna drop on, like,
the project
not
after.
FF2, yeah, but TTB Forever, yeah.
For me personally, sometimes there's like artists that we've worked with that have like done me wrong or like, you know, disrespected me, but then they'll be friends with people that we want to interview, right? So it's always kind of like weird. I'm like, damn, well, if I go to Rolling Loud, is he gonna be there with him? Have you ever felt like that, like with music?
Hell yeah. But that shit just make me want to keep my distance, you know? It's like, but it's not like, I'm not the type of nigga who just gonna be like, you feel me, on some petty shit like, oh, you fuck with bro, so I ain't gonna fuck with you. It's just like, shit, that's y'all relationship. But I ain't knocking nobody's shit. You can't like knock nobody's shit, you know? Cause this ain't like no middle school or high school shit. You gotta understand like business, like it's the same with some niggas might like bruh music, might not like my music, or might love my music but hate bruh music. You feel me? Like, but you can't knock people for their taste or their interests.
Yeah, that's good advice, man. Also for anyone who is gonna come up and wants to do something like this, like it's gonna be like that. But I know you mentioned in another interview before that, like, you know, when you talk about like drugs and whatnot, you're never boasting about it. You're just talking about what you're actually going through. So could you like expand on that a bit more, like to people who, let's say they're hearing you for the first time, right? Like let them know like why you talk about what you talk about.
It's just my experience, like with Domino, like alcoholism, a lot of addiction.
Alcoholism, a lot of addiction. Lost my motor skills.
Like I was in like Paris and shit, and especially during the pandemic, I was dealing with like grief and shit like that. You feel me? Because I had lost a lot of folks, and especially like during that time, and like that was just my way of like coping. It's not like I be doing that shit on some recreational shit just to do it, but just to get out of a certain thought pattern. You feel me? That I feel is toxic. I'd rather be on like a whole different vibe and then go create while I'm on that vibe instead of just like dwelling. And that's just me personally. But I learned to deal with it in a healthier way too. You feel me? I'm not saying like I'm better, like, but I'm better than yesterday.
Yeah. What kind of other stuff do you do to kind of like just stay positive in general and just like keep pushing? I'm curious, you know?
Just, you know, like a help us hires, you know, we go over there to the Friendship Tower with Book Bank like every Thursday. You feel me? And just donate food. I love doing that. Yeah. Then just when I get a chance, spend time with like my little sisters and my little brothers and all that.
I feel you got to, man. This is something that I wanted to ask you. Do you know who Female Doggy is?
I don't know who Female Doggy is, but hey, shout out Female Doggy.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Bro, I just keep seeing that nigga in the car.
Right?
I don't know who, look, I don't know he, she, it, them, but shout out the Female Doggy.
Bro, whoever that is, right? Because that person is in our like the KTO Discord too, right?
Yeah.
And he or she, whatever the person is like talking and stuff. And pretty cool person, man, not gonna lie. He's just like always, he knows everything about hip hop, and he's in every single comment section. But his profile picture is you. Like it's been you for the longest time. Have you ever had any like contact with Female Doggy? I'm just curious.
Nah, but I keep seeing like whoever it, he, she, them, they are like, I continue to see them like post, and you feel me, like whether it's trolling or support, like I'm just like, alright. I was on live one time, I just said shout out Female Doggy.
Nice.
Like,
it's good to see you showing love to your number one fan, bro, because I haven't seen any trolls. I've only seen that person support you, you know?
Yeah, no, so, real deal.
Shout out to that person, man.
I didn't know what it was at first. I didn't know if it was like an account. I thought it was just like some shit niggas was just saying, like,
oh yeah,
like word to Female Doggy and all that.
Nah, it's an account, bro. Pretty legendary, I feel like. But yeah, man, that's cool. It's exciting. You have a project coming. You said what, April 1st?
Yeah.
That's in like what, 5?
Like a week.
It's in a week. Damn, yeah.
Like next week. Forever Figueroa 2, then TTB Forever, then TTB Forever 2.
Nice. All in this year, which is wild.
Yeah.
You know, you could drop so much. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out in a week. But hey, man, I appreciate it, bro. Cool ass interview with Fauni right here. Fans have been asking for it, and yeah, man, you guys are watching Kids Take Over. Yo guys, thanks for watching that Fauni interview. Hit the sub button if you're new here. It should be on the screen, and hit the like buttons. I don't want you to miss the next video. One thing he talked about in this was like his drug addiction, and literally last night I saw that Lil Keed passed away. I mean, like, we were all shocked when we saw that. But just wanted to say, you know, a lot of these rappers fall into that kind of stuff. They don't necessarily want to do it, so don't feel like you guys got to do it because you see it in the music videos and whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. yeah, I'll see you next video. Tune into the streams, follow the IG at Kids Takeover, all that.